are a ton of energy resources that we use in our daily lives. From renewable to non-renewable energy resources, we decided to inform you about the oldest and largest resource, hydropower. Hydropower, also known as hydroelectric power, has a ton of advantages when using it. However, everything can have its own disadvantages. We're going to get into that right now. What is hydropower? Hydropower is a renewable energy that uses the natural flow of moving water to make electricity. Nearly 31.5% of the United States renewable energy generation and 6.3% of the United States total electricity generation is made from hydroelectricity.
Big or small, they both take advantages of water flows to make energy. Hydropower history. Hydropower was first used to provide electricity in 1878, when the power generated from the first ever hydroelectric project was used to power a lamp in England. Before that, turbines which relied on water were invented in 1849 by James Francis. He dubbed them the Francis turbine, which are currently the most widely used type of turbine utilized in dams. In recent times, hydropower is widely used everywhere where there is a great body of water, specifically in countries such as Brazil and China, which are said to be the world leaders of hydropower, according to IHA. This is because Brazil shares the Itaipu Dam with Paraguay, which provides up to 14,000 megawatts and comes third among the world's largest dams. China has two of the largest dams, called the Three Gorges Dam and the Baihetan Dam, with the Three Gorges Dam providing up to 22,500 megawatts and the Baihetan Dam producing up to 16,000 megawatts. How does hydropower work? The water is brought in through a pipe which brings it to a turbine. The turbine blades are turned by the water, which spins a generator to gain energy and electricity. The flow of water and how quickly it is flowing all affect the production of electricity. The greater the water flow, the greater the amount of electricity gained.
What is the cost of hydropower? In general, hydropower can be relatively affordable for most countries compared to other resources such as solar energy.
The cost of constructing large hydropower facilities has a significantly greater amount of civil construction work, leading to more expensive projects. For example, building tunnels, dams, and other facilities that are required. The average price ranges from $12,000 to much over $60,000.
The cost of maintaining and producing energy is lower than the construction phase of the project. Hydropower facilities tend to be pricey but last in the long term, saving plenty of money to be used only for necessary repairs.
What are the advantages of hydropower? Hydropower is a clean and cost-effective form of energy, and hydropower plants can provide power to the grid immediately, which serves as a flexible and reliable form of backup power during major electricity outages or disruptions. Out of all forms of energy production, hydropower proves to be the most environmentally friendly one, since it doesn't require nor provide anything harmful to the environment.
Hydropower is known to be very efficient. In fact, it may be the most efficient power resource we have. According to Kiwi Energy, hydropower can be up to 90% efficient when creating electricity, unlike other resources such as solar power, which is about 30 to 36 efficient in its production. What are the disadvantages of hydropower? There are a huge amount of advantages using hydroelectricity. However, like other resources, there are disadvantages.
Water levels cannot always be controlled. Hydropower is solely based on the flow of water, therefore water cycles of droughts can definitely cause problems, especially in countries which depend on hydropower to provide electricity and energy for a lot of resources. Impact on society. As stated before, people who lived near or at the place where the dam is being planned to be built are usually displaced and forced to move elsewhere. Overall, there is more of a negative impact on people who have lived near a dam or are currently living near a dam. There are also effects of people passing by dams and getting trapped in them.
Hydropower has an extreme effect on the world's environment. Flooding. Flooding land used for hydroelectric reservoir has an extreme environmental impact. For example, it destroys forests, wildlife habitats, agricultural land, and scenic lands.
On the other hand, hydropower doesn't emit any toxic substances such as heat and certain gases, unlike fossil fuels. Financial impact.
Hydropower can come with financial risks linked to the volatility in production. A good example would be Albania. Domestic electricity production falls short of consumption in periods of low rainfall when reservoirs run low. Albania's energy sector is then required to purchase expensive electricity from abroad to meet domestic needs, selling to regulate end users at a fixed regular charge. When low rainfall coincides with high international prices, this results in large financial gaps in Albania's state-owned electricity utilities. The government is then forced to intervene. For instance, in 2016, such net budget lending to Albania's electricity sector amounted to 0.4% of GDP and 0.6% of GDP in 2017.